You know, a lot of times you just get a craving for a quick and easy meal. So with me, that's pasta. You know, everybody remembers the old Hamburger Helper we used to get years ago. I guess you still can. I haven't bought it probably 15 years. But I remember they used to have one that was cheeseburger Hamburger Helper. So the other night I have a craving for that old cheeseburger style pasta. So being as I don't buy a Hamburger Helper or have any of that in the house, I did have one thing that I needed to do that myself, and that was this old powdered cheese. Now I get this powdered cheese 'cause I like to use it on the old popcorn. I like to cook popcorn on the stove since I don't have a microwave. So I decided to make that old hamburger cheeseburger pasta, but I threw another loop in it. I used our little old deer that runs around, or venison, or as some folks might call him, Bambi. We put Bambi in a skillet. We added some of this good old powdered cheese in there, and one other secret ingredient, because we want a little spice to it, and this old 505 Southwestern Green Chiles. Real simple meal, doesn't take no time to make. Now, if you remember, the old Hamburger Helper box would always have you add a cup of milk or 2 cups of milk in there. Well, I don't have no milk tonight, but I always got cream in the fridge because it lasts longer. So we're going to be making that real simple. We're going to do a little chicken stock as the main base. We're going to add that cream in there to give it that creaminess. It's going to be real good. Y'all pull up chair, set a spell. Come along. We'll make this real quick and we're going to enjoy it. Now we got the old skillet warming up right there. I just want to put me a little bit of onion in this old dish we're gonna make. So we're gonna put a little bit of onion in it and a little bit of garlic. Now I'm gonna cheat tonight, and I'm gonna just use a little bit of that old minced garlic that's in the jar, you know. So we don't need a whole lot of that in there. I got this old minced garlic. I try to keep that in the fridge, and I actually ran out the other day and had to buy some new, and I messed up because this is the minced garlic in water, and it's different than what I normally get. That is, I guess, more of an oil. Don't like it as much, but hey, we always make mistakes. So we got us a decent sized pan right here because we're going to be doing this pasta and everything in there. We want something that had a lid on. So I get this pan out every once in a while. We're going to squeeze a little bit of oil up in there. It's starting to get a little bit of heat to it. We're going to throw them onions in there. So go along with them onions. We're going to throw just a good bit of garlic in there. Now, I like me a right smart amount of garlic. If you don't like it much, don't put as much in, but I like me a good little old bit. So, yeah, stick my knife right in the jar. It's my garlic, so I reckon it'll be all right. Now, our protein of choice tonight is going to be, like we said, it's going to be some deer. So, I got me a pound of deer right here. We'll get that thrown in there too. Now, one thing you got to remember with the old deer, it don't have much fat in it. You know, deer is real lean, so we're going to make sure we got a good bit of oil in there. You're going to need that little bit of fat in there. So we're going to get this here deer all broke up real decent in there, and we're just going to let it set in there a while because, you know, we want to get a good browning on that deer. It's going to take a little bit. Well, it's been going a few minutes. We're going to go on, add a little salt and pepper in there. I just keep my little old salt and pepper mixed up in an old dish right here, nothing fancy. We're going to throw that in there so that can be flavoring up that meat a little bit. You know, it's always good to season as you go along. I'm going to start getting that ground deer meat broke up right there. Keep wanting to say hamburger, but deer burger, I reckon, would be the proper way to say that. Now, this is, like I said, a real simple dish, and the star of it is that old powdered cheese. That stuff's pretty handy. It's real good on the popcorn. Like I said, I like to have it for putting on my popcorn because, I don't buy none of that microwave popcorn, nothing like that, because I don't have a microwave. And, people ask me, why don't you have a microwave? Well, I had one years ago. Back when I moved out of this house for a couple of years, I gave everything in the house to my boy. And, well, when I moved back out here, I just didn't want a microwave. I very seldom used it. I honestly just don't like the look of a microwave on the counter. I don't have a lot of counter space. So a microwave and a toaster. I don't much care for a toaster either. I just don't like the look of a toaster. A microwave would be handy every once in a while, but pretty much I can do everything I need to do right here on this old stove. So got me a pretty decent stove. All right, so we're going to let that sit there a little bit longer. We're going to let her get all browned up, and then we'll come back here in just a little bit. Well, like I said, one of the stars of this here program is going to be this 505 Southwestern Green Chiles. I try to keep me 3-4 jars of this in the fridge. I just really like it. And I like this. That's just going to add me a little bit of that backside heat that I like to have in something like this. So that hamburger's done up pretty good. I'm going to add me a good bit in here. So I don't measure much stuff. So I don't measure much stuff. So we just put what we think is good in there. So that's about 4. You know what? Let's go on and just add one more. So almost a half a jar. I give her a good little bit of a kick. I'm going to go ahead and mix that around in here. Let them chilies roast just a little bit by getting them down on that heat. Now the pasta I'm using tonight, I'm not using regular macaroni. What I use is this, I don't know how you, Celentani, I think is how you pronounce it, I don't know. But this pasta, much pasta as I eat, I just found this a year and a half ago or so. But see, it's a macaroni, but it's twisted even more. There's just something about it. It's got a different tooth to it, and it's just a whole different bite. I just really like it. So when I'm doing a meal like this, if I want a macaroni type pasta, that's what I go for. You can try it out. Now, the only brand I've been able to get is that Barilla. I need to see if the Checo or a couple of the other premium brands have it in there. It's just real good. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of difference to it and a regular macaroni. It don't make much sense at all to me, but that's just the way it is. Sometimes it just don't have to make sense. So I'm gonna go and put some of this powdered cheese in here, and it's about time for me to order me a new one. This started to get clumpy a little bit. I noticed that the other day. Everything will pull a little moisture in it over time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a pretty good bit in here. I think I did 5 scoops of this the other night, and I really like it. It may seem like a lot, but it wasn't. So, yeah, it had a good taste to it. Now, like I said, we're going to use a little chicken stock as our base, and I don't have no stock in the can, so I'm going to use a little chicken base right here. Not a lot, just a little bit. Now you got to watch if you're going to use old chicken base that you don't add too much salt to your dish, because most all chicken bases are pretty salty. So we got that going in there. Now our next little step, I'm going to go ahead and add our water. I'm going to go ahead and bring this heat up to high. Well, we can get our water going a little bit quicker. Now, I'm not going to add all my water in there at one time. About the same way when you make gravy. If you take your time and just add a little bit of your liquid to it, it'll come up to heat a lot better, or a lot faster, I mean. Now that powdered cheese, like I said, it looks a little lumpy and clumpy in there, but it ain't no big deal. It's going to take about, I found it with this pasta, about 15 minutes seems to do it up just fine. So by the time this simmers and everything, for that 15 minutes or so it's going to take to do that pasta, that cheese will break down and be real good. The beans, I do have a lid right here. I can get a little heat in it a little bit quicker than normal. We're just going to dump that in there. Now, because we did have milk, we're going to use some cream. Like I said, I always try to keep my cream in the fridge. Cream lasts a whole lot longer than your milk does. You use a lot of cream and a lot of sauces. So let's get that mixed around the spell. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to look at it. It's making a big old mess right there. That's one thing about it. I tend to be a messy cook, but I'm the one that cleans the kitchen, so I don't reckon it really matters. So I guess I used about 2/3 of this box when I made that the other night. So I got me another box right here ready. I'm going to dump that in there. This meal right here, I found so this amount of meal right here, I think I ate 3 bowls the other night. I was a right smart pig, and I still had enough for 2 servings the next day. So a pound of hamburger and not quite a pound of pasta, and you'll have you up something pretty old good. That's a pretty cheap way to feed family if you got you a family. And I can tell right now I'm going to go on and add just a little bit more cream in here. Right out of cream. I'll have to get some ordered. And let's get another grunt of water in there. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this up one more time. I got the burner on high, so it'll come up to heat pretty quick. We'll get this stirred up. We'll put the cover on it, and we'll let her come up to a boil, and then we'll turn it down, and we'll let it simmer. So let's just put that on there for a couple minutes, and we'll come back once she starts to get to a boil. Well, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's take us a gander at that. Yeah, she's starting to simmer around the edges. We'll get her mixed up real good here. Like I said, that powdered cheese, it's going to be clumped a little bit. Just don't worry yourself about it. Don't have to freak out on it because it just ain't no big deal. It's gonna lay down in there real nice. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna put the lid on that. We're gonna turn her down a little bit. We don't need that much fire. We're gonna let it love on itself for probably about 12 more minutes or so. So we'll let it cook a spell. We'll be back in a few. Well, we got our pasta cooked up here. I'll actually let her set for a couple minutes, thicken up just a grunt. Let's take a look at her. It could have been a little bit more moist. Maybe a touch more cream in there, but not want to eat a soup. Well, it's got a pretty good old smell to it. Well, let's get some of that out of here. Oh, this will be even better tomorrow when it sets the spell. Some old green chilies. That's pretty good stuff. Well, let's take a look at it and let's try her out. Well, like I said, it could have been a little more creamy. I should add a little bit more cream. I was actually about ready to run out. So let's try her out real quick. She's about a bit hot. We don't want to burn her mouth off. So that's pretty old good right there. Nice, quick, and easy. It's a cheap meal to fix. If you've got Bambi in the freezer, like I said, throw him in that pan right there. It's real good. Hoosier Hill Farm Premium Cheddar Cheese Powder. You can get that on Amazon. And 505 Southwestern Green Chiles. I'm sure there's other brands. I've just found this brand. I really like it, so I buy it quite a bit. If you can't get it at your local grocer, you can, you can get it online. You can get it on Amazon and everything. So I'll see if I can find some links for that, put them in the description below. So I guess you're supposed to tell everybody, subscribe and hit the little ding-a-ling button on there and all that good stuff. And maybe we'll try to grow this channel a little bit and see if we can get it halfway decent at this stuff. So until next time, I appreciate you all sitting a spell with me. Go on and make you a little cheeseburger pasta like that. We'll see you later.